Hey, we are about to get started. I'm super duper excited that you guys can be here with me today. And listen, we're going to be discussing building wealth using systems, right? What is the system that you can put into your business right now that will help you build wealth, get to that next level of growth within your business? This is key. This has been crucial and critical for me because sometimes I can get all over the place, but having a system keeps me locked in and it allows me to perform at the best of my ability. So let's get into it. I'm not going to hold you guys long. Just want to get you this information. Who am I? Why am I talking to you? I am Takar Williams, a former WNBA point guard. I am a Texas A&M Aggie alumni and letterman. I am a Florida high school basketball two-time state champion. I received a full athletic scholarship to play at Texas A&M University. Best decisions, one of the best decisions I've made in life. Truly awesome. I am the only player in NCAA history with the steal and an assist recorded in every game that I played, which is 111. I hold multiple records at Texas A&M. I'm the all-time steals leader. I am a SEC legend for the conference that we're in. So I have my license as a realtor. I'm a licensed realtor. I'm a mortgage loan originator. I'm also a real estate investor, podcast host, entrepreneur, coach. And I put coach here because, I coached basketball before. I've coached agents in real estate and I coach real estate investors on how to invest and just coaching people in business. So I didn't want to be specific as to what type of coach. I do multiple things. So it's always good to have that, being a coach and mentor. Motivational speaker, a philanthropist. I'm the owner of Sweet Rebound, which is a nonprofit. What we focus on here is we use basketball as the platform to get us to education. So that's the one thing that I did in my life, and I wanted to create something for people like me, girls that wanted to play basketball, wanted to get to a higher level of playing, but through that you had to get some education. So educating yourself is key. And I am the president of the Miami chapter for the National Basketball Retired Players Association. So let me tell you what that is. When I was younger, I watched all of these great basketball players, men basketball players, because women's basketball wasn't marketed as such. I didn't even know that, all of these women played. So I found that out in 1996 when the WNBA became its inaugural season. But anyway, I watched all of these men play basketball and, I just watch them on TV. And now I am the president of the Miami chapter of the National Basketball Retired Players Association. And it's like a dream come true because all of the people that I watched on TV, whether they be college, NBA, I formed this relationship with them without even knowing. And now I actually have a relationship with them through what I do with our chapter. So I thought that was very cool, very unique. But let's get into it. How, number one, I went from basketball and I talked to you guys a lot about basketball, but how did I get involved in real estate? So my sports agent at the time, I was waiting to go overseas and, just waiting to get overseas because the WNBA season had finished. Anything during those times, got to go overseas to keep making some money. So my agent told me, hey, Takar, you're down there in South Florida. This was about 2006, 2007. But you're down there in Florida and the market is hot. The real estate market is hot. Now, she's an agent in California. She had her license in California. She said, you should get licensed. My market's hot. Your market's hot. People move from California to Florida and vice versa. But if you told me that someone wants to purchase in California or someone wanted to sell their home in California, I could pay you for them doing so. And I'm like, what? So it's intriguing, right? It's intriguing. So I'm like, okay, I just need to tell someone this. And you said I could get paid. And she's like, yeah, got it. That's the point guard in me, telling someone what to do and getting the desired outcome. So it fit right into what I love and what I did. And it just seems second nature. So got my real estate license and the rest is history. And by the way, me and my agent never closed the deal together, even to this day. Crazy. I know. But what is a system, right? What is a system? So here's one definition of a system: a set of things working together as parts of a mechanism or an interconnecting network. A set of things working together as parts of a mechanism or interconnecting network. So we have multiple things going on. These things work together and they're all a part of one thing, right? They're all a part of one thing. So multiple things, they're working together as a part of that one thing. So that's what that means to me, right? That's what that particular definition means to me. Again, here's another definition: a set of principles or procedures according to which something is done, an organized framework or method. So in this, we got principles, we got procedures, and this is going to let us know how things are done. Imagine if you went to have surgery and they didn't have a system in place and everything was helter skelter all over the place. You wouldn't feel comfortable, right? When you go into the hospital, you check in, right? That's the system. They check you in, they let everybody know you're here. And then there's things going on in the background that you absolutely have no idea what they're doing. They've prepped the room, right? There, different people are talking to one another. The anesthesia, if you have to go to sleep, if you have to be put to sleep, you got all these different components of the surgery before you even get back there, right? And you don't even see what happens when you get back there, because by the time you get back there and get to the table, they put you to sleep. So there's a system, right? It's organized, and it's the framework or the method. So I wanted to use that analogy just to get you guys to understand what a system really is and how it needs to function as such. We want successful surgeries, right? And we want those in our business as well. I want to ask you a question. I have to ask you three questions. Do you have a tried and true system? Like, what is your system? Is it tried and true? Do you have a tried and true system in place? And what does that look like? Meaning you've set it up, you've tested it out, you know what works, what doesn't work, you've tweaked it, you've made adjustments, you've adapted. Do you have that in place? And if you don't have it in place, I truly want to ask you this: what's stopping you? Because a lot of times I'll tell you, for me, playing basketball, it was second nature. So I came from a system that I didn't put together. I just was playing in someone else's system. But when I got into real estate, no one said you need to have a system. You need to have processes. I'm thinking you can just do the stuff off the fly. My agent told me just tell somebody wants to buy, and it's that simple. No, there's a whole system. There's contracts. You have to show properties. You got to get access to properties. So there's different levels of systems that you have to go through to actually get to the final destination. So do you have a tried and true system in place? And I want to ask you, how long did it take you to set your system up? You want to spend some time in this step, setting your system up, because again, you want to put in, this is your investment right here within the system. This is one of the investments in your system, taking the time to set it up, right? And setting it up correctly. Why you want to set it up correctly? Because you don't want to continue to have to make all these changes because you didn't do something right? Take your time, make sure it's set up right. At times I got antsy in my business. Want a website? Put this website together. Put it together. I need people to know I got a website. And then if people come to the website and I don't have a system in place, that's it. They stop right there, right? It stops right there. I don't know what to do. How do I get their information? How do I know who to call? How can I track who's even going on my website? What do I do, right? So take your time, set it up correctly. It'll pay off in the long run. How would you rate your system? That's the question. If you got a system in place, you've taken your time and you did it right. Now I want to know, how would you rate your system? Is there some things that you could get better at? Because we have to always be constantly tracking and measuring. You can't track what you don't measure. So I know in sports, for me, I had a scouting report. I knew who we were playing against. I knew what the team was, the player that I had to guard. I needed to know what everybody did. I needed to know what my team is going to do. How are we going to defend these people? So once again, you have a tried and true system in place. How long did it take you to set up, and how would you rate that system? We've all been a part of multi-million-dollar systems. We've all been a part of them. Think about schools, right? I went to Texas A&M, multi-million-dollar system that is, maybe billion, I don't know, multi-million-dollar system. You have the school itself, you have admissions, right? Financial aid, you have the athletic department, you have all of these different schools a part of one school, right? So those are the systems. When I went to Texas A&M, I was a part of a small system. The small system that I was a part of made up this great university. right? So the school, the athletic department, the women's basketball program, my head coach, and then we're all in that, right? We're all players within the system. Even in the WNBA, there's the big conglomerate of the WNBA, the owner of the WNBA, right? The commissioner of the WNBA. Then there's different teams. So you have about 12 to 13 teams. Each team has an owner. Each team has a marketing department, a CEO, a COO, right? And you got the players, the general manager, coaching staff. See, all of these people fit into a system and they all have different functions to do within the system. So everybody has different tasks to do within that system, even in real estate, right? Real estate is real estate. It's all out here and it's about the governing of it, right? So our broker, the broker is part of that system. The broker owns this company, right? A certain company. And then within that company, you have agents, you have an admin team, right? To make sure contracts are being done properly. We're keeping the data that we need. We're keeping records on what we're doing, right? We have the buyers and sellers that are a part of real estate too. They're looking to buy and sell and they need guidance. They need a system, right? Even in coaching agents, coaching basketball. I mentioned in the WNBA, even in college, the coaches are a part of a system. So if you're coaching people, what is your system? When they come into your system, do they know what to do? What's your procedures? What's your processes? Here's my brands and my businesses, just to show you guys. Full Court Press Real Estate Investing. That's me coaching real estate investors or agents on how to grow and scale their business and make more money. The ball is in your court. That's my real estate investing business, where I'm buying houses cash from sellers. Sweet Rebound, I told you guys, nonprofit, using basketball as a platform for education. The Basketball Realtor, that's my real estate license, where I'm able to help people buy and sell homes and get paid for it, right? With the Basketball Realtor, if you're buying and selling homes, if you're helping someone buy and sell homes, you need a license. If you're a real estate investor and you're buying and selling on account of yourself, you don't need a license. So those are my businesses. And I know you guys are probably like, Takara, you got ADHD. There's no way you can make these businesses function doing the things that you do, right? I get it. I know. But like I told you guys, the coaching program for real estate investing, people have to opt in. If people don't opt in, they don't want what I have, and that's okay. We want to focus on who's opting in. When they opt in, we give them free value within private Facebook group. So we give them access to a private Facebook group. We're giving out gems. We're giving out free information, things of value to them just for being a part of our group. Now, if you need me or my team to help you scale your business, hold your hand through processes, get access to our networks, provide you with contracts, then we're talking a different thing within the system, right? Now we're talking about Full Court Press coaching, and that's different. So my system will send you to that space if you want something different from the free Facebook group. The ball is in your court. Buying houses cash. Once again, people have to opt in. If they're thinking about selling their house for cash, it's quick, it's a distressed home, they're going to opt in. They're going to fill out a questionnaire, has a follow-up, and from that follow-up, we're going to present an offer because we've gotten the information we need. But did you see that system? We put the advertisement out there. We put graphics out there. We're going to opt in, questionnaire with follow-up, present the offer. See how that flows in the system? Sweet Rebound. Girls basketball community. Again, opt in, give free value within the private Facebook group. And again, just like in the real estate coaching in Full Court Press, if you want us to do something different, really get access to our network, the one-on-ones with us, and actually just engaging with us a lot more and getting the tools and resources that we provide, you get the VIP exclusive private group within my system. Again, it's flowing through a system, right? So as a basketball realtor, again, showcase of homes for sale. Buyers are looking for homes for sale. Sellers are looking to put their homes on the market. Now, I do try to buy homes for cash, and every home is not going to be a property that's distressed. I can send them right here to my real estate side and pretty much utilize my license to help them do so. It's listings I have for sale. You can see closed listings. But once again, to get there, you have to opt in, right? You have to opt in. ADHD, I get it, but how do I keep up with this stuff? So I want you to know that each brand that I have, each brand or business I have, has a dedicated system that is targeted to a specific group. Basketball, it could be school, it could be real estate, it could be sellers. It's all targeted at a certain group. I don't want my basketball people talking to the real estate system if that's not what they want. That's why we have the opt-in, right? You can see all my businesses, you can see the brands, but if the brand doesn't interest you, you're not going to opt in. You're only going to opt into the one that interests you, and it's going to system is going to do what it needs to do because that's what you said you wanted, right? That's the importance of systems. Next on the line is the processes. So now we just talked about it. You got processes within the system. So think about it. Each system has its own dedicated processes that speak and engage with people within the system. Think about this one. When you were younger, I know when I was younger, we went to school, right? Went to school, we came home, we had to clean up before we went outside. If we didn't clean up before we went outside, my mom came home, house was dirty, that was trouble. That's not the trouble we want to get into, right? So our parents had a system. You need to get up and go to school. Don't be acting up at school because then you're going to mess the process up too. Go to school, come home, homework done, clean up, you can go outside and play. Look at that system. After you finish playing, come home, get a bath, eat, go to bed. Right? That's the system, right? That's the system we're in. And those were the processes we had to follow to make the system function, so to speak. So within these processes, you have a workflow. And the workflow is your vision. You want your vision to be here in the workflow. So what happens is we develop our workflows. And how do we know where to put people within the workflow? Because once these workflows are set up, the trigger, right? Think about it, trigger, it's their behavior. So whatever the prospect comes into your workflow, if they click something, that's a behavior. And from that behavior, we nurture them through our automations, right? So workflow is a thing. We have to set that up. System is very important. We set that up. Once they click something, we're taking them through a process, right? So depending on what they click, we're going to take them through a process. They click something, and then the next part of the process is nurturing with the automations. So this is the system, and the process is speaking to them, and they feel like it's you. Sorry for the thunder and the lightning, but sounds good in my ears, but I hope it's not interrupting you guys. Follow up. So after you have your workflow, after you have the trigger from your leads or your prospect, and now you have them in the nurturing phase and you're automating it, you don't want just the system or the process to only be doing the follow up. Follow up is very important. You hear people say this in real estate. Follow up, follow up, follow up. You hear this in basketball. If you play basketball, follow through, right? Follow through on your shot. If you shoot and the ball misses, follow your shot. So the first word is follow. When you do an act, right? And if it wasn't successful, you have to follow that act with something else. So follow up. Don't just let it in there. I called, they didn't answer. I'm not calling anymore, right? When you guys want something, especially when you're trying to date somebody, back in the day, you followed up. If you wrote that note, hey, I like you. Do you like me? Send a note by somebody, right? They give it to them. You followed up. If you didn't get the note back, you followed up. Hey, did you get my note? Or when you seen the person, hey, did you get my note? Right? So follow up. The fortune is in the follow up. Now that the system is set up and the process are implemented, right? It's doing this thing. Your system is doing this thing. The processes is doing this thing. Now it's time for you to follow up. So all the engaging, you got to go back, look at the prospect, look what they click. Look what's been sent to them. Look what they responded to. Now you can make the call. Because why? You have data. You know what they're clicking on. You know what they're viewing. You can even follow up and say, hey, we sent you out an email. Did you receive it? You know if they received it or not because your system is telling you this person either opened or didn't open the email, right? So this gives us a cheat code, so to speak, on how to deal with our prospects and our leads. Follow up, follow up, follow up. But you got to put a system in place. And within that system, you have to have processes. Once those processes are implemented, you have to follow up. Think about some of the greatest coaches in the world, whether it be sports or if it's even in business. They have a system in place. And understand that everybody may not fit into your system, and that's okay. Nick Saban went to LSU, built out an excellent program, won national championships, went to Alabama, built out excellent programs, won national championship. The one thing he understood was that we have a system. And if you follow the system, if the players follow the system, if the coaches follow the system and follow the processes within that system, we have a greater level of success, right? And our system isn't worth changing for one person. That's why we have triggers, because we get to monitor behavior, right? We get to see their behavior. Let's show that again. We get to see their behavior. What are they doing? What are they in our system doing? That's why it's very important to track. It's very important to track. So when we have our systems in place and we have these tools and we have these processes and we implemented everything we need to implement, now we have to follow up. And again, the constant thing, the inevitable thing is change. I'm not telling you that you don't have to tweak, you don't have to adjust and adapt your system. I'm telling you, if you build your system on a solid foundation, on your core values and certain pillars that you want in your business, you don't have to change your foundation. You just probably have to make your nurturing, right? Your automations, to see it back here, see what our automations to the behavior. What does that look like? And you'll know what that looks like because you're getting leads in here and you're seeing what they're clicking. The one thing about it, you can track this data because you know what works for you and what doesn't. So this is how I'm able to build wealth through my systems, because those systems are performing for me when I'm not able to just sit down in front of a computer or sit on the phone all day and just try to figure out what people want, right? I already have the data that I need because the system did the work, the processes did the work, and now I just got to be the superstar that I am and do my job and research what they've done and put it all together. So I want you all to be the superstars that you are. Get your system, put your processes in place. And now let's implement. And now we do the work, right? Now you do the work. It made your work minimal, but now when you only have to focus on the follow-up, just think about that. What if you had to optimize yourself? What if you had to see what the trigger was and you got to put that in and plug that stuff in yourself? That's a lot, right? So we want to save time here and we want to make you efficient here. If you can focus your time on the follow-up, how much more successful will you be? If you could just focus on following up, that's it. But it's all about having a system. And I want you to have access to the same systems that I have access to. Let's talk. Let's get together. Let's get together. Here's my contact information. But I want you all to look at my systems, right? These are all the systems that I have. Full Court Press, which is the coaching. Sweet Rebound, which is the nonprofit. We're talking about basketball. And the Ball is in Your Court Investments is buying houses cash. These are my systems. I definitely encourage you to research. Do your own research. But look at these systems. And if you want to discuss how we can help you take it to the next level, hey, there's our email. Shoot us an email. Give us a shout on the phone, and we can get you started. You all have a great day. This was awesome. Love it. Love what I do. And I want you guys to be successful. Be successful. Pay attention.